So that's it really. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it made you... Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would film a kind of skincare video for you guys. So as you guys may be aware, I have normal to dry skin, and it's only at that normal to dry stage because I've got a really good skincare routine that's working for me at the moment. So I thought I would share the products I use and kind of explain what I do, and hopefully it might help some of you guys with dry skin. So at this stage I'm going to show you before I put my makeup on, my morning routine, and then at the end of the video I'll show you my evening routine, which is kind of a bit more complex. Sometimes it involves a mask, sometimes it doesn't, but I thought I would show you both routines in the same video. So this is my ginormous skincare bag. It's a very skincare bag that my friends got me actually as a makeup bag for my birthday last year, but it doesn't quite fit all of my makeup in at the moment, so I use it as a skincare bag, even though most of my skincare products don't fit in. So in the morning I always start by cleansing and toning my skin. I find minimum cleansing is necessary because in the night you get all gross and sweaty in bed, so you need to kind of get rid of some of the gunk that's in your pores. Now I like to use a moisturising cleanser because I don't want to be using anything that's stripping my skin too much of everything I need. So I often use the Simple Kind to Skin Purifying Cleansing Lotion. Now this is really nice and moisturising. I don't find that it dries my skin out. I find like it almost adds a level of moisture as it cleanses. So I just pop a small amount onto a cotton pad like that, and that should be enough for my entire face. Oh god, have you seen this horrible spot coming up? Well done, Jess. Good day for skincare tips. And so you can see all the gunk that's come off on this cotton pad. Now it doesn't look too bad. I've seen it look worse, but that's because I do really well in taking my makeup off at the end of the day. Now this toner I only use in the summer because my skin is a bit more glowy in the summer. This is the Body Shop Tea Tree Mattifying Toner. Now mattifying is fairly odd with dry skin. I think this is one of those products that you would only use in the summer. You don't use this in the winter, it's going to dry your skin out, but I do need something a bit more clearing than the other products. I find this also really good for when I have breakouts, like this massive bad boy right here. I tend to use this more focusing on the areas with blemishes rather than on the rest. I do kind of do a light area on the rest, but it's to help close the pores so that when I moisturise, nothing kind of gets in and clogs the pores up. And again, on a cotton pad. You do have to shake this one because it has like a debris that settles that you need to shake into the bottle before you use it. Oh, and this does come out rather quickly. See, I've soaked this pad, which you don't need to do. If you take it much more slowly, you'll kind of get the amount of product that you need. Now this does have a kind of tingly, refreshing sensation on the skin. If it starts to burn or anything like that, then don't use it. Of course, you know the drill with things like that. But it does have quite a refreshing, like, tingling sensation on the skin. And you can see how effective your cleanser is by seeing if there's any gunk left on the pad. And there's a tiny bit, but nothing major. So I use the Simple Replenishing Rich Moisturiser. This is more aimed at dry skin. There is one that isn't quite as moisturising. It's more like a daily moisturiser for those of you with oily skin or those of you with normal skin. You may prefer that, but I really like this one. I've been using it for ages. So this is definitely plenty for the entire face. In fact, it's probably too much. I probably put too much out. Yeah, too much. I find this moisturiser sinks really nicely into the skin, and you don't have to wait ages for it to dry down, so that you can kind of start your makeup, if you don't use an oil, fairly quickly afterwards. So with oils, I use one of two. I either use the ordinary 100% cold pressed Moroccan argan oil, or I use the Superdrug own brand Vitamin E Skincare Facial Oil. Now this one is fairly new for me, and although it looks smaller, it is actually about the same size. It has the same volume of product in, And what I like about this is I don't tend to forget to close this one properly. There's been a couple of times I put this on my nightstand, I've forgotten to close it properly, it's fallen over and I've lost oil. I have been using this one longer and I am a lot more comfortable using it under my makeup. Now, with the research I've done into skincare, in my head the rule is you're supposed to put your moisturiser on first and then your facial oil, because the oil can sink in on top of the moisturiser, but the moisturiser can't sink in on top of the oil. So you don't need a lot of this oil, you need a couple of drops. And that is genuinely enough for your entire face. I found when I started using this oil that my skin was so dry, it would just soak up all of the product so quickly, and I would have to put a second coat on, and then it would kind of leave my skin how it feels now after one coat. Honestly, this has transformed my skin. When I started a more complex skincare routine that wasn't just slapping a moisturiser on in the morning, I honestly feel like I have like nearly no dry patches anymore because of this oil. It is fantastic. I 100% recommend it. And it's a really reasonable price. It's £5 or £6 from Beauty Bay, and this lasts me, even with spillages, about 3 months. So I would always wait 10 minutes or so after putting an oil on before you start applying your foundation. I think the problem otherwise is if you have a foundation that's more mattifying, it's not going to look matte straight away on top of this oil, and it's going to change how the foundation wears on your skin. So you do have to let the oil sink in before you apply makeup. So if you're in a rush in the morning, you can get up, do your skincare, go and make your breakfast, then come back, sit down and put your makeup on. And if I'm being extra, mostly in the winter, I tend to pop a facial spray on just before I would put my makeup on. And this is the Vitamin E Hydrating Mist. It's a Superdrug own brand. And this is really nice. I've only just purchased this and I haven't had to use a lot of it. But on the drier, colder days that I've had so far, this has looked really nice under my makeup. It dries fairly quickly, so you don't have to wait. So once you've popped your oil on, you've had that 10-minute break where you've gone and made yourself a snack, you can then pop this on, let it dry for about 30 seconds to a minute, and then carry on with your makeup as you normally do. I'm not sure how this would work as a setting spray. To be honest, I wouldn't use this as a setting spray. I think it would give you more of a dewy look, but I feel like there are setting sprays that do that for you that also help your makeup stick, and I'm not sure that this is what this is targeted as. So next we're going to move on to my evening skincare routine. I tend to just soak a cotton pad. I have these giant ones that I got from Morrison's. I don't feel like it really matters. I feel like you can use any cotton pads. And just gently go over the surface of the skin. You should always throw this kind of stuff in the bin. Don't put it in the toilet or anything like that, because that is how you get blocked drains, how the rivers get blocked. It's just they don't degrade well, so they have to go in waste. So the next step is quite different. It really depends on the day of the week, what I'm doing, how lazy I'm feeling, to be honest. So at this point, normally I cleanse and tone, but you guys have already seen that. So I'm going to move on to the next step. So that would either be masking or my acid treatments. Acid treatments you should use maximum once or twice a week. So I have a really gentle acid exfoliant. It's a chemical exfoliant to try and get rid of some of the dry skin that builds up on my face. I have the Ordinary's lactic acid 5% with hyaluronic acid. And I find this really good for just applying on the skin after I've, say, cleansed and toned, or even after I've just removed the micellar water if I'm feeling lazy. And that really makes your skin feel smooth in the morning. So I take about this much in my dropper, pop a couple of drops on my finger, and then spread it all over my face. I feel like initially it makes your skin feel very tight. I don't feel like it necessarily makes it feel smooth. It shouldn't feel like it's like significantly burning. It can feel a little bit tingly, but it shouldn't feel burning. Now, don't ever put this on wounds. Sensitive skin may have problems with this. Don't put this on broken skin, because that is where it's going to sting. I used to have a really significant texture here, and although it is still there, I feel like it's a lot less noticeable than when it was before I started using the acid. So normally what I'll do is I'll use the Vitamin E Aqua Boost Essence Lotion. I feel like this feels so nice on the skin. My skin, since I've started using it, still feels like I put a thin moisturiser on when I wake up in the morning. Honest to God, I would really, really recommend this. It's £10 from Body Shop, which does feel a bit expensive, but you only use a small bit and it just feels so good on the skin. You pop it under your products because you want the products to sink in. If you just pop it on your face, hyaluronic acid pulls water into the skin, and you don't want it pulling water from deep into your skin up to the surface. You want to pop something on it so that hyaluronic acid has something to drag into your skin. So the next is moisturiser, and this is very much up to you. I feel like night creams, night creams are thicker. You don't want to be putting those under your makeup because your makeup's just going to slide around and it's not going to look correct. So I have a couple of night creams that I try and switch between. One of my favourites is the Spa Pure Overnight Hydration Mask, and I use this a couple of times a week and it just feels so good on the skin. However, I do not use this on the night that I use the lactic acid treatments because it kind of feels like it balls up a little bit on my face and doesn't sink into the skin quite as nicely. So normally I just use my Nivea Daily Essentials 24-hour Moisture Boost and Nourish Rich Regenerating Night Cream. Now this is very thick, as you could tell. I've used quite a bit of it, and I just pop about that much on my face. Now often it's good to leave a few minutes between doing this treatment, as most moisturisers will initially, as this moisturiser sometimes does ball up a little bit on the skin after the lactic acid treatment, but it balls up so much less, and if I leave it for a couple of minutes it doesn't ball up at all. And our final step, we're going to use the Vitamin E Facial Oil. Earlier you can kind of switch this up between the Moroccan oil and this oil. I'm just showing you the difference. This has got a little hole in the top and you just pop a couple of drops out on your finger and it does cover most of the face. It smells much better, to be honest, but I haven't been using this one for quite as long. Although in the morning it feels just as moisturising as the Moroccan one does. So that's it really. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope maybe it helps some of you guys out, helps rid you guys of some of the dry patches on your skin. This is not going to be as beneficial for people with oily skin. I feel like it would just add too much moisture into your skin and you'd have some problems. Anyway, if you liked this video then please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel then please press that button down below and subscribe, and if you press that notification bell you'll be notified every time I upload. Thank you for watching.